How we doing, everybody? Dommy gonna reach here for Who-Bangin Sports Talk. How's everybody doing today? It is the end of February. Tomorrow's March 1st. Quick month, right? Anyway, let's get at it for these two games I got for you today. We'll have another write-up or two. The lines keep changing crazy for me. It was the games I picked. I don't know. But even the two games I got for you, the lines have been moving. One towards me, one against me. And honestly, the one I went against me, I put a little bit more money on it. I just feel strong about the pick. Whether it wins or not is another story, but that's, all we can do is go without convictions, right? And like you guys know how we do at Who-Bangin. If nothing else, we're transparent. We try to do our best. I always try to give out, I never give out a game I don't play, but I always try to give out my best information. I try to give you a little bit of a range if I can. But, like I said, it's all about, if we ain't honest and we ain't transparent, what the hell we have, right? Got to be authentic. If nothing else, let's get to these two games. First one is the game everybody's on. Everybody's talking about this game. Two guys that I respect a lot. Two guys that also do YouTube stuff. One who's with me, one's against me. So we'll see what happens in this game. It should be interesting. But it's at UCLA at Purdue. That's the first game I'm going to talk about. I got two bets for you on this game, and one on the other. Well, actually, I guess it amounts out to two games. Two picks on two games. What I did, the reason why I say that is because I took a money line parlay on the two picks that I'm going to give you, and then I also took two totals. Okay, let's get started. UCLA at Purdue. If you're all suspended and wondering, was he going to play? No, I'm only kidding. I'm on Purdue. I took the money line in Purdue as my first part of my parlay. When I took it, it was minus 240. Right now, that minus 265. I took listen. It opened up 4.5 and went to 5.5. I seen the 5. I see now a 6. I don't like the points in this game. I think this is going to be a tough game. These two teams are very evenly matched. I think it's going to be a slow-paced game. I think there's not going to be that many, I don't think it's going to be a shootout. I have a feeling that this could be a grind game, and I just think it favors Purdue as far as a win outright. As far as 5-6 points, I wouldn't recommend that, but they could easily beat UCLA by a lot today. This is just a get-right spot for Purdue. We know they've been playing bad. They lost 4 straight, 3 or 4 on the road. They have to win this game. It's like one of those must-wins. There's like a couple games left. They just need the game, just for the tournament, for their conference seeding, for the March Madness, for all of it. It's a big game for Purdue, and that's because they lost so many. And I think that's why the game opened up at 4.5. I think the game would have opened up maybe at 6 if it wasn't for the way they've been playing lately. And conversely, UCLA has not been playing good offensively either. But let's just stick with Purdue for now. Purdue plays a lot slower than they used to play. They don't run and gun no more. They got that ball up the court. They start their set. They're passing. They're set for the shot. Under 25, 20 seconds. They are a good quality shot team. I mean, they don't just one pass and shoot. They do look for that shot, but they are a slower paced team than they used to be. And really, UCLA is also. They're a slow paced team. Both these teams are. And both these teams, like I said, are evenly matched. One's number 5 in the conference, UCLA. Number 6 in the conference is Purdue. They're 19-9. UCLA was 20-8. Big Ten action. Purdue, like I said, has not been playing up to potential. But both these teams, they're slow-paced teams. If you look at the conference and the pacing of everybody in the conference, these two teams are 2 of the 3 slowest teams in the conference. So, that's another reason why I like this under, and which is the second part of my cap. I took the under 140.5. I would take this down to 137.5. I do see a 138 now. It dropped 2 points. So I did get the better number, but I would have taken, if I was going to go, if I opened up, this morning when I took the 140, I would have took it at 138.5, and that's what it is. Here, I had it marked down that I would take it 3 points lower than I did, which was 137.5. So, that's why I felt about this game. Both these teams, like I said, are slow-paced. UCLA is, let's see, where is UCLA at? Oh, and UCLA's defense is the best part of that team. And they've been playing, all throughout the year. They're a very good defensive team. Offensively, their last two games they really fell off. They only scored 67 or 66 or 67 points. I know one was 69 points. So both the last two games they had under 70 points. Purdue is only allowing teams 28% from the 3-point percentage. So UCLA's 3-point isn't such a bad number, but when they're when Purdue's playing at home, they really cut the 3-point percentage down on the teams defending it really well. You get under 30%, that's pretty good. Offensively, UCLA in the first half is scoring around 36 points. Second half around 30, almost 38 points. Both teams have about 32 rebounds a game each. What I like about UCLA's defense is they're number 22 in points per possession allowed. They're number 2 in forcing turnovers. They're allowing a little bit over 64.5 points per game. They commit about almost 9 steals, 8.6. They commit in steals. They do, like I said, have around 32 rebounds a game. Their offensive rebound is around 31%, which isn't terrible. But defensively, like I said, they're a lot better. They don't commit a lot of turnovers. They are good at steals. They're good at forcing the turnovers. I think there's a lot of ways that this game slows down, and that we get this under. Like I said, how slow they are. Their points per possession on both ends are Purdue. Let's see, is ranked. Oh yeah, I was talking about the 3-point possessions first. Purdue allows opponents to make 28.2% of their 3-point attempts at home, and they're ranked 23rd in the nation at that point. So that's there's not many teams better at defending the 3 at home, which I think is going to be a big component in this game. UCLA is 289th in total possessions per game, and Purdue is ranked 292nd in total possessions per game. So they both play a slow pace, and if you look at the total possessions UCLA was involved in against a few teams that were more fast-paced tempo than Purdue is, like USC, like Wisconsin. I forget who the other one was, but they've held teams that play at a faster pace to lower possessions than their norm. So, I just think they could do the same thing to Purdue. And I like that under 140.5. Like, that's why I took it. It was minus 110. But like I said, I would take the under 138.5 too. One of the guys very respected in the industry says he don't think this game's going to get into the 130s. I don't know about that. I don't know if I'm that confident. But I am confident in this under. And again, one of our more respected cappers likes this over. So we'll see what happens. A lot of people jumped on this under. So we'll see. Sometimes when that happens, we got to be careful about that. Next game up is this Akron-Kent State game. And that's the second leg of my parlay. The Kent State, another good defensive team. But Akron, I think, is another game that they're home. They did win. They did win against Ball State their last game out. But let's just talk about Akron a little bit. We is a team that, of course, a lot of everybody knows how they played. They had 14 straight conference wins. They had one non-conference win against Marquette at the beginning of the year when Marquette was actually playing good. But that last game, last Saturday, I just been having a feel for Akron lately in the last few games. Let's hope that it continues today. I went with the Akron money line as in my second part of my parlay with Purdue. And I didn't want to take the 3.5 of the, and now I think it went up a little bit. But I didn't even want to screw around with the points. And I'll tell you why. I would have because, Akron's money line was minus 177, and they were at 3.5 minus 117, which would have made for a lot better, mathematically, of course, parlay than I took at plus 123. But the reason why I went that route is because I was a little surprised about Akron's performance against Ball State. I thought they were going to come out firing and continue firing the whole game. They did come out firing. They jumped out to a lead the first 10 minutes about, I think it was 24-6, something like that. So Ball State really had to play catch-up the whole game. Actually, Ball State played a good second half defensively and offensively. They actually played a better second half than Akron did. I was surprised that Akron, I don't think they covered that game. I forgot what it closed at, maybe 5 or so points, but they didn't cover that game. But we were lucky enough that we did have another bad math parlay that night with Cincinnati. I guess that was Monday, maybe. And that was, I had a parlay about 123, 124, something like that, with Cincinnati's money line that night. But today is kind of similar. We got a Kent State team that's a lot better than that Ball State team, and I do think Akron's going to win, but I don't think it's going to be so easy. And that's why I went with the Akron money line, the second part of my parlay. But I also took the under in this game, under 154.5 minus 106. Now, I have it marked down, in my cap that I would take this game to 148.5. I would take it. Guess what? This line moved up to 157.5. I was a little bit surprised at that. Usually my lines don't go that much against me on a total. On sides, yeah, sometimes you're on the wrong side, you're on the right side. But with a total, if anything, I'm usually on the right side of those. I usually don't go 3 points against me. But, instead of just saying, you know what, maybe cash out and find another day, maybe it's stupid what I did, but, I got to have conviction on what I believe. I still think this game does go way under. Maybe I shouldn't say way, but I do think this game goes under. And I was surprised about the 157.5, so I took another half a unit on the 157.5. And insult to injury, maybe. We'll see what happens. Let's just talk quickly about this game. Kent State, the elite defense, ranking 4th in the country in points per possession allowed on defense when they're on the road. So on the road, they're good. They allow they're not allowing a lot of possessions. And they're on the road. They're also their Achilles heel though is their 3-point shooting, and another reason why I like this under. Kent State's 3-point shooting is one of the worst in the country. Number 353. They're shooting at around a 27% rate at 3-point shooting when they're on the road. They are also ranked 217th in possessions per game. So they don't create a lot of possessions. They don't turn over the ball a lot. They are a good defensive team though, and they are a good rebounding team. I should say, and so is Akron. Akron's pretty good at defense. Kent State is in the top 100 in adjusted defensive efficiency. They're also in the top 60 defending the 3-point. So they don't shoot the 3 well. They defend the 3 well. Akron, like I said, Akron, defense has to step up. They do have some issues sometimes against teams that aren't as talented as them, but I think Kent State is, and I think that Akron's going to have to be careful that they don't even lose this game. I'm not so sold on this money line. I mean, if any team could upset Akron at home, it's Kent State. I believe that, but I also don't think it's going to happen. So where I went with this game was Akron money line with the Purdue money line plus 123. If you took it now, it would be plus 117. I also got the Purdue under 140.5. I would take it right now at 130.5, and that's 38.5, and that's where it is. I also took the under in the Akron game at 154.5. It went up to 157.5, and I took it again at 157.5. So it's either feast or famine. Maybe I'll get, I had 2 wins last night on our write-ups on Twitter. We'll see if I give it back or not. We had that UAB played a good game. I had them plus 1.5. They won outright. They played a really good game. Then we had that under Idaho against Idaho State. Never in doubt that under 2 slow-paced teams. Not slower than these two, but these two are pretty slow. So that's what I got for you guys. I'll probably have a game or 2 out on Twitter later on. A lot of these games are moving. A lot of lines are moving. Tomorrow we have myself and DJ Big Boss doing our We Got Next show at 11 a.m. Eastern Time. And I'll tell you, there's already some games out for tomorrow. So some real good matchups tomorrow. So I tell you, I guess it's going to be. I didn't look yet as far as how many games are tomorrow, but the way it's been every Saturday lately, it's been 140 games, 150 games. You know how Saturdays are, especially after the NFL stops. After the Super Bowl, that's what happens. Let me just go quickly. Tomorrow, 1 o'clock game. We got Auburn at Kentucky. Right now, Auburn's 5.5 point favorite. We also got at 1 o'clock Arkansas, South Carolina. Those two teams aren't that good in their conference, but that's a good matchup. Arkansas is favored on the road for 2.5. That's a good matchup, regardless. Another good matchup is Texas Tech against Kansas. Let's see what else. Alabama against Tennessee. Number 6 against number 5. Alabama's on the road plus 3.5. 4:30 we got Creighton Xavier. Texas A&M at Florida. I love Florida. I like it more and more. Arizona at Iowa State. That big defensive team, Iowa State. That totals at 153.5. I'll be looking to maybe go under in that game. So anyhow, just a few little nuggets to put out there that you got to look for tomorrow. We'll be on some of those games tomorrow. So that's what I got for you. Let me get out of here. Dommy going to reach you for Who-Bangin Sports Talk. Don't forget, we got our big trip coming up in September, but we'll be talking about that more and more. But until then, guys, I'll see you tomorrow. Hopefully, we got next.